Hi everyone. Hope everyone can hear me. I'm Yasas from Doers Circle, and we will start our 0 to 1 session today. Now, welcome to everyone who's joining from Singapore, from India, from the region South Asia, Southeast Asia, or wherever you are. 0 to 1 is the event series that Doers Circle organizes every week, in fact, twice a week, one on Wednesday and one on Thursday, to support freelancers, entrepreneurs, contractors, founders, and independent doers, as we like to call them, to grow from 0 to 1, or to grow from wherever they are to wherever they want to go. And today, we are privileged to have Indu Nanayakkara. Indu is the founder of In Consulting. She's obviously a founder herself. She's also a consultant, freelancer, and a doer, to the fullest meaning of that word. I've known Indu for more than a decade, I think. We got to know each other from the startup ecosystem, been involved in various startups, supporting startups. And then later, when I was with Facebook or Meta, Indu was one of our stakeholders, where we consulted her for her expertise to understand more about Instagram, especially, and some of the other tools like WhatsApp, Facebook, and their use, as well as misuse. I remember talking to Indu many a times about the misuse side of it, as well as the good use. So Indu is a doer, to the very meaning of that word, and she's also a strategist. I think, as I've said in my post about this event, she's a strategist. She can be at the high level. She understands the why, but she's also a doer. She understands the how as well, how to do it. So thank you thank you very much, Indu, for accepting our invitation, and glad to have you with us today.
All right, thank you so much, Yasas, for that introduction. So let me quickly, shall I share the deck now?
Yes, you can share your
Um,
deck and start the presentation. And while you start sharing, Indu is going to talk about personal branding today. Personal branding obviously is extremely important for founders and freelancers and professionals. It's not just for celebrities that's important to build their personal brand, but it is important for all of us. So she's going to talk about that at a strategic level, and also at a practical operational level as well, as to how to do it. And I think she'll also touch on an assessment model where she'll help us understand where we stand in terms of our personal brand and work from there onwards. So over to you, In.
all right, thank you so much, Yasas. All right, so good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are joining. And yes, so my name is Indu Nanayakkara. I am also a founder slash co-founder, running two different entities. And I have been in the industry of digital marketing for more than 15 years now. It's quite some time. And I have been involved in so many arenas. I won't go into nitty gritty details. Whatever you can see on the screen, you can, absorb. But what I want to tell you most importantly is personal branding is becoming far more important than any other type of marketing or leading on an industry, online, especially because of the emergence of AI. Now, why is that? So, what happens is what we have seen so far is with AI, people are not only getting AI to do a lot of work, but they are also impersonating individuals using AI. So, very soon, I mean, already it's evident people will have trouble identifying who's AI and not real humans and who's a real human. This is why building your personal brand, if not already, but right now, today onwards, is going to be really important so that you will have a history to talk about. All right. And it's not too late to talk about history at any given time, but better if you have a track record than you don't. So I'm going to tell you, and when it comes to personal brand building, there are so many places. Uh, Depending on where you are in your personal branding level or ranking or some sort of a amount of work that you have done in or not, right? There are things that you need to focus on. For example, if you haven't really intentionally built your personal brand, now is not the time to go for paid PR. No, 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 no. Right? That comes much later. And also, if you don't intentionally build your personal brand, what will happen is others will start building it for you, right? Because when other people talk about you online, they're going to either tag you, they're going to put your full name, they're going to put your a business name or whatever it is that identifies or connects with you, and their posts, their whatever they are going to share online will build your personal brand. And that's not something you want to happen, because you want the control of it. Okay, so let's get into it. I will show you. Uh, I'm gonna talk about three very important things today. Um, First one being online personal branding self audit. And luckily for you, I have the exact self audit, which you can do for completely free. And I will share it with you right after this session. And I will also share with you the legacy ladder framework, which I built after working with a number of individuals and analyzing other people's online personal brands and so on. So I built a ranking system where you can go step by step without having to really figure out, oh, what I'm going to do next, what should I do now, right? And the strategies that you need to focus on wherever you are on this ladder. Okay, so I hope that sounds good. Let's get into it. And of course, I'll open up the floor for any questions that you want to ask. All right. So, how do you get your hands on the personal branding self audit, which is free? All you have to do is two things: follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn, and whichever place you are on, just drop me a DM that says self audit. Okay, and I will send you the link where you can go and do this audit yourself, and then you can do the next steps. So take screenshots, whatever you like, so that you know exactly what to do. And once you build your rank, whatever the rank you are, right, you will be given a level in the ranking system, and then you can compare based on the points or the marks that you are getting, where you are in the legacy ladder. Okay, so if you are let's say, for example, if you have 0 to about 24 points, you'll be at level 1, where you don't technically have a personal brand. You haven't really, maybe you might have intentionally done, but it's not enough. Okay, so there we are ranking you as a no personal brand. Okay, but the good thing is I'll tell you exactly what to do when you want to go to the next, how you can go to the next level and so on. Okay, so let's go and figure out each level and what you need to focus on. I'm gonna try and do this within the next 20 minutes so that you have plenty of time to go for Q&A. Right, so when you don't have a personal brand, or you haven't really intentionally built a personal brand to a level that it has some significance, where people can identify you, right? You need to focus on clarifying your brand identity, okay? Optimizing your social media profiles and networking and visibility both offline and online. So, what do I mean by this? Clarifying your brand identity, meaning your brand needs to have a purpose, just like a company has a vision and a mission and, a whole purpose, and what industry you are on, and what your current level is, and what your future level is. You need to clarify what does your brand represent, right? So depending on your personality, depending on your industry, depending on your future goals, depending on what you want to avoid, you need to build a personality for your brand. And please, please, please be mindful, this is not a fake personality, because you cannot sustain a fake personality as a personal brand. Okay, you need to be very authentic and very true to your real self. You can, you know, I mean, let's say, for example, if you don't brush your teeth in the morning, you don't have to share this, right? Just giving you like a funny example. But you can select what you want to share and what you don't want to share. But what you do not want to do is to share something that is fake. Let's say you don't wear um you don't wear jackets, right? In real life, you should not be showing up online wearing a jacket. If you don't, just a silly example, right? So you don't want to pretend who you're not, but you don't have to share everything that you do and don't do. So you need to selectively build your personal brand identity in order to build your personal brand. Okay, so there's like a bit of a process there, which is a bit too much for this session, but you can ask me questions. And once you clarify your brand identity, then you can optimize your social media profiles. Now, I must emphasize, if you're starting brand new, or if you're especially in this case, please select one social media profile to build your personal brand on. I have some guidelines in the next slide, because if you try to build on everywhere, it's going to be so chaotic and you're going to burn yourself out and you won't be able to focus on what you're doing in terms of your your work or your business. Okay, so just take one social network that really resonates with your business, your industry, and your personality and your audience. Okay, you need to figure out what audience you're trying to reach out and the purpose. And finally, networking and visibility, because you need to do things to show things, right? So networking and visibility are that can be done online. So this session is done online, so I am sharing what I'm doing here, which is an online session on my social networks, right? And last week I went for a conference in person and I'm sharing that online as well, so you can do both, right? And whatever activities you do, the client work that you do, any other business activities you do, meeting someone important, so all of these things you can share depending on your brand identity. Okay, so what are the things you need to strategically focus on? um, Start with one social platform and grow it to about 1,000 followers. If you are not quite clear, if you're a business owner, ideal place to start would be LinkedIn. But if you are a sort of like a coach consultant where you are working with clients, then Instagram would be a great place as well. If you're working with very a young audience, TikTok would be great as well. So depending on your brand identity, your ideal audience, and what industry and business you do, what you're selling, what work you're doing, the platform may differ, but select one ideal platform and work on it until you get about 1,000 followers. And here you don't need to go every single day at it. You can post about 3 times a week. Anything less than that, I mean twice or once a week, does work, but it doesn't really cut it. So at least 3 times a week you want to post on that selected social media platform. And you want to also be active on that platform, like commenting on 5 to 10 other people's posts or events or anything that's relevant to your industry or your that relevant to your personal brand identity. And make sure, before you do everything else, optimize that social media, the bio, the photos, the if there's like a background banner or anything like that, or anything that you want to highlight or pin. All of these you need to sort out before you get started, right? I hope this is clear. Then we go to level 2. So now this would be like, I think, about 25% to about 40%, sorry, 44% would be your a weak personal brand. Now, weak doesn't mean that you're weak. I mean, it's not in a negative way, but it's just an identifier where you have a personal brand, but it's a little bit weak. It's not there yet, right? So here you want to focus on upgrading your content strategy. You want to focus on starting video content. In case you're not exactly the video kind of person, you want to substitute that with either audio or written in a really big way. Okay. And video, if you're not too happy about doing your own videos, you can show up on other people's videos and, getting interviews and things like that. Maybe like a YouTube interview or something like that, in order to compensate, because visual is like one of the easiest and the biggest way you can build your personal brand. So that's why video is important. Okay. Then you also want to leverage micro authority. Now, what does this mean? You want to build on your authority in your industry or your expertise. So you need to share ideas, articles, written or spoken or video, posts where you talk about your industry or your expertise, and give like solid recommendations. Share your thought process, your opinions. So those are authority. And micro meaning you don't have to go really big at this place, because if you try to go really big, it's kind of like a imbalanced when you have a weak personal brand and you're trying to be like a thought leader. It doesn't really gel well. So hold on to the thought leadership for a couple of more steps, right? But you can build micro authority, little bits of pieces, like 3 ideas, like 2 ways you can do this, kind of more educational type of content can go here. And also you want to you can start growing your audience, and you can also build on lead generation at this point. So what are the strategic focuses you can go in terms of here, this level? You can post now 4 to 5 times a week, and with a mix of different content types, like written, um, you know uh, other platforms like a blog post or a YouTube video, or a cross posting on channels can be done. So video, written, audio, those things can be done, long form, short form. So mix of different content types can be used here. And if you are on LinkedIn, ideally, this is the time that you should get on LinkedIn, no matter which other platform you are on, because now you're going to LinkedIn is where business happens, right? So almost all of the business leaders, even individual leaders, will be on LinkedIn, unless you're into like the entertainment industry, like musician, actor. Then it's slightly different. You don't really need to focus on LinkedIn, but still, if you want to come across as a leader in the industry, then maybe LinkedIn might still work. So that's a different thing. And you can start on short form video content, like YouTube shorts, reels, TikTok videos, things like that. You can grow your connections beyond the 1,000 on LinkedIn or any other platform. And now you could focus on getting featured on things like podcasts, guest blogs, YouTube interviews, even in-person interviews could work. But right now, try to keep it a little bit light. If you do get an opportunity, of course, don't turn it down, but you can keep it light. Then comes the third level. We kind of give a broad section to this, going from about 45% to about, I think, 70%, where you're a developing brand. Now this is a really good place to be, and you can do a lot of things here. But remember, if you're in level 1, please don't jump to level 3. It's very difficult, and it's going to really screw your personal brand. So here what you want to focus on is increasing your content depth and authority. Now you can talk a little bit more on opinion and philosophy pieces. You can go for like leveraging guest features and collaborations with other business owners, like what we are doing now. Uh, Building your community, like you can go beyond social networks and build your community on a separate platform. It can be like email, it can be a third party platform like school, or circle, or anything else. And you can also look at monetizing your content and serious lead generation at this point. So there's a lot in when it comes to monetization and lead generation strategies. We can go to that in the questions if you have real questions. But by lead generation, what I mean is you offer some sort of a freebie or a lead magnet, and you collect either phone numbers or emails or anything else, like their LinkedIn profiles or Facebook profiles, something of identifying and connection. You collect them so you can gather them, and you can connect with them later on continuously. So even Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups also work in terms of lead generation. So the strategic focus in this uh, place would be to post daily. Now, I mean, Twitter or X is also a great platform to build your personal brand and authority. Like LinkedIn, it has the same kind of authority building opportunities as well, but it's slightly different audience. You do get a lot of business owners globally, and they do talk a lot. You also get the politician, musician, entertainment industry people as well on Twitter. So slightly different from LinkedIn. You can also start a week things like a weekly newsletter or a weekly email that can go in your new email to your email list. That's part of the lead generation and lead nurturing, actually, in this case. You can get featured on mid-range podcasts, blogs. Now you don't have to go to the smaller, very tiny audience ones. You can go up for the mid-level audience one. You can launch your lead magnet solid, and get you can work on simple funnels where one thing to like a freebie to a slightly paid thing, if that works for your business. And serious list building. And you can also now really hone in on the creating community, like LinkedIn groups, even on Instagram. Sometimes you can do this with close friends feature. You can do this. Then the fourth level is a strong personal brand. Here what we focus on is scaling your personal brand. You want to build on PR and authority growth right now, at this level, and advanced monetization and offers, and lead generation and all those areas. So what would be the strategy we need to focus on here? um Few things. You want to post across multiple platforms daily, so you can build on like a absolutely, you need to, like, even level 3, you need to build on scheduling, and operating with large, like long form content, either long form video or long form written piece, and then breaking down into smaller pieces of content at this point. Right now, you can look at hiring a content team and automating and scheduling, or even a individual who's like supporting your social media, because this is a point where you really can't do things yourself. It's really difficult, it's very tough, because you can't be doing your business and building a personal brand at this level. You really need the support. Okay. And this is a place you want to focus on securing high authority and paid PR, even locally or regionally. You don't really need to look at global PR at this point. But local PR, definitely you want to look at magazines, newspapers, and all of these other things outside of social media. And you can look at expanding to YouTube weekly content, in the sense once a week YouTube video, sharing authority building and educational, or even viewpoints. And you can launch a high ticket program or a product, or build your business to the level of your personal brand at this point. Finally, a world class personal brand. I don't think any one of you, even myself included, is in this level where you're like a legacy level world class brand like Cristiano Ronaldo or Elon Musk, that level. But you can, if you strategically follow this step by step guidance, you really can. It won't be overnight, it'll take a year or two for sure, but you can get there. uh, Here what we need to focus on is global PR and media domination. That means TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, online, offline, all inclusive, right? Massive brand expansion and legacy and industry impact. So, serious industry impact where you want to build a legacy behind you. Okay. And what are the things you need to focus on here is to get featured on top tier publications, invest in paid PR, scaling your YouTube and other channels to, 100 plus, millions of subscribers, launching a best selling book, or, speaking on different stages like global stages, or doing a documentary would also really help. So book and documentary, written and video content. So either or both you can look at. Doing multiple books you can look at, hosting a global conference or an industry event, and creating a social media, social impact, a foundation or an initiative where you build an entity, a program, or a organization or a community that creates social impact. Okay, so it could be a charity effort, it could be a, sometimes it could be a paid effort, but ideally some sort of a social impact building entity is something that you want to look at in this stage. So those are like the 5 levels and the strategic focuses you need to have at each level. I hope that is clear. And just before we go into our Q&A, just wrapping up everything that we discussed. So, starting from zero, what you need to do when you're developing your brand to a strong brand and to world class brand level. And if you're looking for support, you can always DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn, and we can have a chat on how I can help you if you need that level of help. But if not, what you can do is you can still. Um, Follow me on Instagram or LinkedIn and send me a DM that says self audit, and I will send you the self audit link where you can go and uh, you know do your your personal branding, online personal branding self audit. And it also gives you some guidance, from just the specific. Now we saw like at each level what is the strategic focus. So depending on the ranking that you're getting from the self audit, you will get a little guidebook, or like a couple of pages of guidance on how you can do this yourself. So you will get some benefit out of this. So that's about it from me in this session. So over to you guys if you want to ask any questions.
Thank you very much, Indu. That's very interesting and very well structured as well. So it's very clear as to what are the stages in that ladder, and hopefully it will help our participants to assess themselves and then develop their next steps from there. So I have a few questions to start off the discussion, Indu, and then we can also take questions from our Q&A channel. I can see 2 questions already, but if you have more questions, please drop them in to the Q&A channel, and I'll pick them in our conversation as we go. Just to start off, Indu, we have lots of freelancers and startup founders in this audience, as well as when this is shared on YouTube and other places, they will watch this, and
Sure.
we want to make sure this is highly catered towards them. And one question that they would ask, I guess, is what's the time commitment, right? Because if you take a freelancer, it's one person and they have 8 hours a day in their life or in their job time, right? And they have a
Yeah.
family, they have to sleep and all that as well. So and founder is also similar, especially early stage or small startup founders. They only have themselves or a couple of others. So in terms of time commitment, like what's your recommendation for them? like how much time should they spend on building their personal brand. And maybe if you can go a bit into each platform also, it might help. As you said, yes, LinkedIn is like the primary if you have limited time and if you're in early stage. But maybe if you are a freelancer in a creative kind of sector, or a line of business, then you might want to do Instagram as well, right? Or TikTok maybe.
Yes.
So maybe we talk a bit about that side. In
Right. So in terms of content creation, one thing each person need to first consider is, what are you good at? Are you good at writing? Are you good at speaking? In terms of audio, or do you love video? Like, turn on your camera or your phone or whatever, and then, record something. Is that something? So do do your content creation based on what you're good at and what comes easy to you. Okay. So depending on that, you build your content. That's number one. Number two is, you need to plan ahead, right? It's not going to be a good idea to wake up in the morning and say, oh, today is Monday, I need to post today. No, that's not going to help you build your brand. It's just going to take it everywhere. So what I would recommend is, if you take a month, right, plan monthly content. So let's say at the end of the previous month, like, now would be a great time to plan for August. So take a few days, sorry, take a few hours around like 20 to 25th of the previous month, and think, okay, what's coming up in the next month? What are the important dates? What are you planning on doing? And what do you want to focus on? Right. And then have, like, write down the topics. Ideally, I would say, when you're doing content, when you're posting on social media or anywhere else, stick to between 3 to 5 different topics. So you call them content pillars, right? So pick 3 to 5 topics or areas, or ideas, or things that matter to you and your business and your audience, and try to stick to them. This is easy. So let's say you have 3 topics. Okay. So what you want to do is, okay, I want to post 3 times a week. So there are, let's say, if you post 3 times a week on a given month, it'll be about 10 posts, right? So what you want to do is, I will post 3 on topic A, 3 on topic B, and 4 on topic C. So you decide, and then you think, okay, what do I talk about on the topic A? So you write 3 ideas. And what do I want to talk about topic B? And what do I want to do on topic C? So, for example, sorry, if you're let's say a social media manager for multiple brands, okay, let's say if you're following a specific industry, so you want to talk about, um, why is social media important for that industry. So this will give an idea to clients who don't already work with you, an idea of, okay, I actually, maybe I need to focus on social media a little bit, or maybe this person is really good, so instead of me wasting my time doing social media, I should rather give it to this, person who's really good at social media. So uh, you need to have a topic, and you need to have a call to action, or a CTA, or an objective. Like, you talk about this, but the purpose is to get this done. So those are the 2 things you need to think about, and you build ideas for the 10 different posts that you are posting in the next month. Then what you can do is, every week, if you have the time, you can, basically write and schedule, or video record, and do everything in that, take a day off, or take half a day off, or 2 half a days, and do everything for the next month and schedule. That can be done. If not, you have the basic framework, and each week, let's say on a weekend, or a Thursday afternoon, or a Tuesday morning, you take a few hours and do the 3 posts for that week or the next week, and schedule them. So that way, what happens is, when you do batch work, it helps you focus on one thing, and you can get it done. And then once it's done, you don't really have to worry too much about it. So that way you save time. So ideally, I would say once a month, when you're doing the, content planning, first couple of times may take more time, but as you get used to it, you can do the content planning for a whole month within about an hour and a half. And then each week, depending on how good you are with writing or video recording, you should be able to like each week take about an hour and a half for that entire week's work. So this is like when you are doing 3 to 5 posts a week. So that works for like the week to sorry, the no personal brand to weak personal brand to even all the way up to like developing initial stages of a developing personal brand. You can do this within that frame of time.
Thanks, Indu. I'll take a question from the Q&A channel. This is asked by Menu. Hi, Indu. How do you find original ideas to talk about when there's so many people online with so much content?
Great question. So original ideas, usually one tip I'll give you is look at other industries. Okay, don't look at like videos and read articles and things. Like in your industry, switch your industry to something completely different, right? Let's say you're in HR, switch to like showbiz. Right? If you're in social media, go to like construction. You will find like what I'm saying is look at thought leaders and individuals, like people who have built their personal brand on other industries, what they are talking about. That gives you like one. In the beginning you may be like, oh, what is that got to do with my business, right? But you will be so surprised. You will suddenly like come across like a epiphany or a aha moment, like wow, I can actually tap into this in my industry and nobody's talking about it in my industry. So switching your industry or switching your you know angle or point of view is one of the best ways to come up with brand new ideas. Okay,
Right.
so yes, look at your own industry but also switch the industry.
Sure, thank you. And Evelina has messaged us saying, "Great idea. I never thought of this. Thank you, Indu." Um,
All right,
One
great.
other question I had, Indu, was on the content mix or types of content, maybe, or formats of content. You obviously spoke about different types of content and how to kind of create ideas and have a schedule, have a plan done even before that month starts. That I guess will help to kind of craft different types of content maybe. But in terms of formats, right? Something that we see, for example, on LinkedIn is that there are certain text posts doing really well, and then similar text post with an image does even better. And sometimes a video goes much far than a text post does, right? So
Yeah.
is it recommended to do different types of formats as well, like a text post one day, another and another image post another day, the third post to be like a video, and then a text and an image mixed? What's kind of the recommendation?
Yes, absolutely. And you need now, social media is a place you need to experiment, right? What works for you may not work for someone else. Even if you're in the same industry, even if you're in a very similar level, your audience may be completely different from someone else's audience. And sometimes you come across better in certain content than other people. It's kind of a like creating a recipe, right? Your chicken curry may be better than someone else's fish curry. It's something like that. So you have to find your own sweet spot. So when you're starting off, or if you're starting new from what you have been doing so far, experiment with different types of content. Long form written content with no pictures, with links, with a lot of links and resources. Very short form, like quick idea, like hey, this day this happened and this is like the mind blown idea that I thought of, and which never I have seen in anywhere anyone else sharing, or I have never seen this before. What do you think? Very short. Okay, so if you just take LinkedIn, Same thing, long form or short form with a photo, long form or short form with a video. No text, only video. No text, only photo. And in the photo, you have like some, short, like a just a quick, like a either a quote or a quick thought kind of thing. So experiment with different types of ideas. And also, if you take LinkedIn, it has specifically a special segment called articles, where the article you write, and then that article you can share. So that's a different type of long form content. It's kind of like a blog post. Then you can share a third party, like third party platform blog post, like if you're blogging on Medium or WordPress, or some other blogging platform, you can share that post. If you got a video on YouTube. So typically most social media platforms don't like when you link to outside things, and then people have to click and go. So go easy on those, right? But once in a while, share them and see how it responds. So the best thing is, you strategically share like different things. So maybe have like a Google sheet, or a Excel sheet, or some kind of a sheet, even a Notion form, uh, and write down the different types of posts, the dates, and after a week, what was the response? How many people did it reach? How much of likes and reactions did it give you? How many comments did it give you? And kind of rank the comments, like were they like, "Ha, great idea, thanks for sharing," kind of comment, or some deep insight from the commenter also. Like, then you do this for about a month or month and a half, you will get an idea what type of content really flies with your audience, and make sure that's the audience that you are looking to connect with also. So that type of experimenting with data will give you a deeper insight of what type of content you should be sharing in the long run. So just because you so like let's say you found out a certain type of content works really well, don't only stick to that content, maximize it, like 60%, 70%, but also have a different mix of content still, because people are going to get bored otherwise. Okay,
Sure.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, it helps. Indu, thank you. Maybe Indu, you can stop sharing as well. Then our two screens
Cool.
will expand, and yeah, that's much better, I
All
think.
right.
Thank you. We can take the next question from Menu as well. If someone is handling my social media for me, how do I know if they're doing a good job or not? I guess the KPIs is the question here.
Yes. So w- before you hand your social media to someone else, ideally you need to have your own internal goals, because uh, if the other party is a strategic entity, they will ask you for your goals. uh, so you need to be prepared with that. So you need to know where you stand right now and where you need to go. Let's say you want to grow on a specific social media platform, you need to tell them, I want to grow this number of followers, I want to get this number of leads, I want to get this amount of sales, I want to be featured. So, and other things through this social network activity, I want this and this and this. So, those are going to be a call to action that the agency is going to focus on. So you need to give those to the agency and make sure that they follow those things. So on one side, looking at your content, you will see whether the agency followed your advice or not. Okay, are they adding the call to actions? Are they giving the right link? Are they doing the follow up work? Like, are they doing the, uh, let's say you hand over the entire email marketing and everything. So, are they doing the, lead generation, the, nurture sequence? How many emails are there in the nurture sequence? Like, is that converting? So, at the end of the nurture sequence, what's the call to action there? Like, what are you trying to get? So, that's like the first layer. Are they doing what they're supposed to do? That's first layer. Second layer is where you look at the numbers. Is it converting? I'm posting like 5 times a week. 5 times a week. Is it converting? 5 times a week. Is it converting? 10 times a week? 10 times a week. 20 times a week? 20 times a week? 30 times a week? 30 times a week? 40 times a week? 40 times a week? 50 times a week? 50 times a week? 60 times a week? 60 times a week? 70 times a week? 70 times a week? 80 times a week? 80 times a week? 90 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 ti Am I getting the the amount of engagement, the amount of views, numbers wise? Is it working? So yes, you need to have a chat with the agency and decide on a uh, you know uh, a practical set of numbers, like in the sense, you can't be in level 1 and expect level 6 or 10 or whatever answers. So you need to have that discussion with the agency or the individual who's doing the your third party done for you work, and come to an agreement. Okay, this is what we are going to do, and this is the response, this is the result that we are expecting. So the expected results can be visibility, engagement, and conversion. So those are the three main areas to look at. Visibility meaning how many people are viewing, engagement means how many people are commenting, responding with a like or a share or a save or whatever the is available on the social network, and also are they clicking on the links and going to subscribe into your email list or whatever. Conversions are from that email list. Are you hitting your financial goals? Are people buying? Are people buying into your idea? Are they following your program? Whatever your conversion goals are. So those are the but the number wise, it's very difficult to give a specific number because it depends on
Yeah.
where you are and what effort you're making.
Thank you very much, Indu. I think you put it very nicely: visibility, engagement, and conversions. And
Yes.
if I were to take it a step further, that's one side is branding and marketing, creating that
Yeah.
visibility, creating that awareness about yourself, and then the sales side, does that actually
Yes. Exactly.
result in numbers, right? And because
Yeah.
we work with founders and freelancers, that sales component is also important, right? Because for a large
Very
company,
important.
you have budgets to spend on branding and long term uh, branding, sustaining the brand and developing the brand over a long period of time. Whereas a freelancer wants jobs today or yesterday, right?
Yes.
Or a
Yes.
startup wants business tomorrow. So I think
Exactly.
it's getting that mix right. So you're building the brand, but at the same time there are right call to action so that some of them convert right now as well. And I was talking to a founder the other day, and he was saying my KPI from all my work on LinkedIn is how many DMs do I receive in that week. DMs in the sense direct messages in my
Yeah.
inbox.
Yeah.
One or two of them could be actually asking about the services that we provide, but one or two might be just saying, I'm just interested to know more about you or your company. And that's also better engagement because they are not just there for visibility, or it's not a visibility outcome, but it is also now
Yeah.
an engagement in your version. And then engagement actually can lead to a conversion as well.
Yes. So on that thought, so those queries where I want to know more can lead to a customer or a client if you have the right nurture process. So
Right.
that's something you need to discuss. Either you do it yourself, or your agency or your freelance, a social media person is doing it for yourself. So see how the conversions are happening, and based on that you can always you know funnel it to or siphon it to a real tangible result like a sale.
Yeah, thank you. I want to take this question. I think this is very important, and this is something that we see in our network quite often. If someone is known for one thing but wants to shift into a new space, how do you make that transition without losing your audience? Why I say that this is kind of common to us is because we see lots of corporate employees transitioning into freelancing, consulting, fractional
Mm.
experts, and people also have termed a new word now, portfolio careers as well. But basically, being independent doers, but they are moving from a corporate career. They worked in a company that has a huge brand, well-known brand, and they're known to be the marketing manager there, or the CTO there, or the head of operations there. But now they are building a new business as a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, and
Mm.
how do you kind of shift this brand identity in that sense, right?
Yes.
Without losing your audience as well, and also without losing credibility. Like some people might say, okay, this guy does this thing today, and tomorrow
Mm.
he or she is doing something else, and that can also create mistrust, and you may lose your audience. So,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
would be your advice as you transition from one role to another, not only in a job but also in business? In the sense becoming an entrepreneur, freelancer kind of thing.
Yes. So regardless of the number one rule is sharing your journey. That's the easiest way, because you don't like wake up today, and decide, hey, I'm going to switch to this industry tomorrow. Like, you don't never do that, right? So, same way, you can take your audience along your journey. When did you first have that epiphanic or a, aha moment? Hey, that industry also looks interesting. Or somebody spoke to you and say, hey, you know what? I want you to do this with me. Can you? You share that moment, right? Yes, I understand there are certain things you don't want to share right away. You don't want to share everything uh, for obvious reasons, right? But what you can do is you can backtrack it. Let's say you at an event you met someone and you all just dove into this serious discussion, and there was so much synergy between the two of you, and they are doing A, you are doing B, and you are like, hey, can we merge these together? Some great ideas came up, and you are like, let's meet tomorrow. And things escalate, and then 2 weeks later you're going to do something completely different. Okay, now at which point are you going to share this? So I'm not telling you to share like day one. That might be counterintuitive, like because we are all in business. But what you can do is you can drop little hints, right? Along the way you can drop little hints. And if you really can't share the exact thing that you're shifting into, you can kind of do a teaser. You know how when big brands launch a new product or a service, what do? They do teaser posts. Something exciting is coming. So like that, you can take a period of time even after you in real life you have already made the shift. Online you can do like a teaser period where you take your audience through that shift. You can say like, guys, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am. There are some really interesting new things are happening. I'm going to share these things over the next few days. I'm so excited, blah blah blah. You could do even start with something like this without telling exactly what it is, but to know, let your audience know that some shift is happening. Then along the period of time you can plan it out again, just like you do your monthly plan. You can plan it out. Okay, day one I'm going to say this particular little thing. Day two I'm going to share this little thing. Day three I'm going to share this little thing. And over a period of 5 to 10 days you can complete that teaser phase, and then do the grand reveal, or like, guess what, we teamed up, or guess what, I'm offering this brand new thing, like whatever. And then you can either get them to buy into it, who's interested in this, who wants to learn more. I have like, I mean, if you're selling something brand new, then you can straight away go into like the alpha or beta tester mode without saying alpha beta tester mode, right? You can just get people to buy into it, see who's interested in taking up the initial journey with you. So those things you can do. So what I'm saying is, a, make it a gradual process. You can, I mean, look at all kinds of global brands and see how they shift from one to another. Like, I mean, look at even Google. They went from search to like so many things. Now it's in AI, right? Google is doing AI, like not something typical that they were doing earlier, but see how they shifted and how they got people to buy into their idea. So study other brands, what they are doing, either in your industry or other industries. Get those ideas, and do it gradually. Take your audience through the journey with you. Give them the um reasons, like your logic behind why you did it. So if
Sure.
people have been with you for a while, then they understand, you know, if you want them to buy into it, you can give during the teaser phase. Instead of doing a actual teaser, you can just drop ideas like, you know what, the other day I was thinking, maybe I should, I used to love acting as a kid. Just share a couple of stories from your past of where that interest is being touched. And then, like, say, does anyone know, a good acting class or whatever? And then say, guys, you won't believe it, I got this, opportunity to act in this small uh, drama or whatever. Like that, you can take people through that journey. And you're not lying per se, you're just delaying the information a little bit.
Yeah.
So you
Uh,
can do something like that.
Thank you very much, Indu. I know the time is running fast and we are almost at time, so I'm mindful of everyone's time and calendars, but we still have a couple of questions to get through.
Okay, I'll try to do it fast.
This question is on again LinkedIn. How does having and posting through a page important? I'm assuming this is between a company kind of page versus a
Yeah,
personal page. I
personal
asked
page.
this as a startup. I only have connections on my personal account, which is not at all my target audience in my startup. So how do I use LinkedIn to its fullest?
Okay. One, your company page or your brand page is on LinkedIn. It doesn't do a lot. You do get some visibility, but it's not as nearly as close to as your personal brand. So, A, keep posting on your company page, but share those things on your personal brand. Two, if your personal brand audience is not relevant to your business, start adding those audiences. Strategically start adding the people who you want to be who is your audience for the business, little by little. Every day add a few people and engage with those people, and so on. Have a, like, a, say hi sort of message, which is not intrusive, not salesy, just a nice message. And then you can build some sort of a this thing. So those are the few things I could tell you initially. Continue with the business page. It is your showpiece, it's your standard. Two, it may not get enough visibility, so use your personal profile. And three, start building your audience that's relevant.
Sure. The next
Soft and
question,
sweet.
if there aren't other questions he or she would like to ask this, but I will still ask. If I am someone who hasn't had much of a presence or I feel I have not shared much value, how can I get past that mental block and get into this? What if I don't have much value to share as much as the other leaders on LinkedIn? I guess this is a very common question, right? People want to be active, but they don't know what to share. It's a mental block.
Yeah. So a couple of things you can look at. Number one is, everyone starts at zero. We all don't know how to walk when we were babies, and we take a few steps, we fall, and we so the same thing with anything. Starting a business, starting a job, putting your, a brand on social media, everything starts from zero. But you should have started yesterday. So the next best thing is start today. Don't wait for tomorrow. So start now. Be intentional. That's how you do anything, right? So don't wallow or blame your past. Start now. You're not too late. Okay. Big global business owners are not there online sometimes, right? So you can start now. That's one. Uh, so just go past that mentality where, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done this. Forget that. We all have been there. Okay. Number two, now that you decided to start, okay, what do you talk about? So a few ways you can, talk about. One easy way, have a chat with chat GPT. Okay. Right, basically take your phone and do the audio, that the mic thing, not the audio conversation, because that's very limited if it's free ChatGPT. Use the mic and tell ChatGPT, I want to build a personal brand, blah blah blah, these are the areas that I'm, good with, or I don't know what I should talk about. And then whatever, tell everything that you have in mind, things that you want to do. Why do you want to build a personal brand in the first place? Okay, there has to be a reason. Share that, all of those reasons and anything related, and tell, most importantly, ask me questions that will help me build some sort of topics that I can use, as my content pillars or content plan online. Ask something like that. That's like the easiest place to start with, right? You will get some pretty cool answers. Number two, think about, what do people usually ask you, right? What do people, like your friends and family, what do they come to you for? Like, what are the things? It may or may not be relevant to where you want to go. So pick the ones that are relevant for where you want to go. But the first question is actually like, why do you want to build a personal brand? If it is to sell something, if it is to build a career, if it is to build a business, if it is to uh, look like a big shot in the industry, doesn't matter. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, trying to be a big shot in the industry, right? It's up to you, it's your choice. But if you want to be a big shot in the industry, or if you want to sell something, if you want to do, join a new company, or be get a raise in the current company, you need to study your subject matter or your area, be very thorough in it, right? So learn new things. If you don't already know what to share, learn new things in your industry or the industry that you want to go in, so you can share while you're learning. Like, for example, you read a new book in your industry and say, hey, have you read this book by so and so? I This particular thing really stuck in my head, and then just share an opinion. If you don't know something already, grab something that someone already talked about and give your peace of mind on it, right? Start small.
Thank you, Indu. I know we are over time, but I still want to ask one last question
Okay.
because I think it's important in this AI age. You've already touched on ChatGPT, how it can help in a mental block if someone's kind of self-doubting the start of this journey. But more broadly, Indu, how can someone use AI for personal branding to create content? Do you use as well? Like, what tools are available? What tools can you recommend for someone starting early or someone's in the early stages of personal branding? What's your recommended use of AI?
Okay. Depending on how clear you are about your personal brand, right? That part is all you. Don't outsource this to a third party, a human or a AI, because that part is should be all you. It has to come from you. But you can get help in terms of clarifying it. Either you could talk to a friend who knows you very well, a human, or you can talk to an AI to help you clarify your ideas. Like, think about, should I go this way or should I go this way? If I go this way, what are the pros and cons? If I go that way, what are the pros and cons? What do you think? This is about me. What do you think I should like? Then you just clarify, but always, if you're working with an AI, always get the AI to ask you questions so that you can answer, right? Because it should come from you. On the other hand, you can, basically do things like journaling, like, write it yourself. You can take, like, a blank sheet of paper, or a book or whatever, and then get some questions. You can do some reading on personal branding, how to build a personal brand, or read some blog posts, watch some YouTube videos, and start writing the key things of, okay, what is my personal brand? What do I want it to look like? What would be my ideal personality that's already existent in terms of online? Do I want to be like some crazy techie guy, like, Elon Musk, or some, some uh like a more like an influencer type, I don't know, Kim Kardashian or whatever. Like, what type of personality do I have, and do I want to build on? So that would be some a conversation you need to have with yourself. Once you have that conversation, and once you are have a pretty good idea of what you want to do, then you can help use that information to build the content, be present where you are, ask people for advice. You can ask me, drop me a message and ask me, where should I be, Indu? I'm doing this. Where should I be? You could do that if you like. And so decide on the platform, or if you're right new, just pick one platform, please, or you'll be burnt out. Then the next few steps would be to, what are you going to talk about online, and then each topic or each idea you want to build it into a fully fledged post, whether it's video or text. So you can talk to a friend and bounce ideas back and forth and do this. You can talk to AI and ask the AI to do that, to help you. But you have to be the final decider. If you're using AI, please do not copy paste it just without even looking at it. Don't do that, because sometimes they do ridiculous mistakes, and you don't want to look like I'm a copy paster from AI. That's the worst thing that you can do for your personal brand. So some of the tools, ChatGPT is great, Gemini is pretty good. I am still, right now, I'm on the more ChatGPT camp than Gemini camp when it comes to content creation, right? And there are so many, like, it's all about the prompt. If you have a fabulous prompt, you will get a fabulous answer. If you're gonna give a two-line prompt, you will get a useless answer. That's the basic thing. It's just like working with a human assistant. If you give your assistant like very minimal information, the output is useless. If you go into real good thorough detail, you get an excellent output. So that's the secret of working with AI. That being said, there are AIs where people are talking about using things like make.com and N8 N and all these other automation services. Gather information from this, put it to this, write the article and schedule all in one go. I am not a big fan of it yet. I just feel like if you can't, get a coherent answer from ChatGPT or other tool in one go, where you can 100% blindly trust it, I am not going to blindly trust a process that will put the output. You can put the output, but before you publish, you have to go through the output. That is be my personal advice. Do not publish anything without going through it yourself.
Sure. Thank you very much, Indu. I know we are 10 minutes over time, so I'll wrap it up there. But it was so interesting, and I didn't see many people dropping off. I think they would still stay on. It's so interesting and useful, but I'll still stop the conversation because we said it's an hour. But maybe we can have another conversation to take this
Yes.
to another level in a future event. So thank you very much, Indu. Thank you to everyone who joined as well. I also got a comment from someone saying it's good that we have half the time for Q&A and discussion. So it's not only a
Yeah.
presentation, but we can ask questions and clarify all our questions. And I can see lots of pings coming through in the chat thread, thanking for that frank conversation, Indu. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you everyone for joining in. And we will have a similar session next week as well. As I said, it's every Wednesday and Thursday, same time. It's 4:30 p.m. Singapore time or 2 p.m. India time, Sri Lanka time or South Asia time. You will get the invitations again for next week's two events as well. And we look forward to having you in the future sessions as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Asas, and thanks,
Yeah.
Dual Circle.
Thank you. Bye.